Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
And how are you?
I'm alright, and how are you?
I'm alright. What have you got on your chest, ATV?
Yes.
Why have you got ATV on your chest?
Why not? No, because of this.
Okay. Through. That's it. Woo, woo, woo. That'll do. What's that then, Lisa?
That is Pipkins.
Pipkins. How much Pipkins is that?
A lot of Pipkins.
Well, let's open it up and have a look, shall we? This arrived a few days ago?
It did, yes. Thursday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been brewing for some time,
For a while,
hasn't it?
yeah. They kept finding new ones, so
Yeah.
so volume 1 and volume 2.
Volume 2.
And there's 18 discs in total.
So let's have a look inside, because there's an insert, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dearie me.
You've got to flip it.
Yeah, discs. Well, you know what discs are.
You go like this.
It's a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, 18 discs.
Yes.
Of which 16 of the discs are
Episodes
of Pipkins.
Yeah.
Disc 17 is extras.
Yes.
Bits and bobs.
Mm-hmm.
And disc 18 is interviews.
Yes.
From 2009 and 2012.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had various releases of Pipkins over the years. But,
yes.
Similar to the huge Crossroads release.
Yeah.
This is sizable, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as big as the Crossroads discs because they've crunched it down more.
But you've got, as I said, 16 discs with episodes on, and there's 8 episodes on each disc.
Yes.
So you do the sums.
Yeah, that's just a lot of episodes.
Because on the back, I think, because this is from Kaleidoscope, isn't it? And it says feature length 2,070 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Of pure Pipkins.
With Hartley hair.
Yeah. That's it's about 35 hours worth,
Okay.
isn't it?
It's going to take us a while then.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But we've just done disc 1.
Yes.
And there is the proviso, isn't there, that some of these are sourced from fairly shonky copies, but they're the only copies available.
That exist, yes.
So some of them have got real sort of interlacing sort of problems.
Yeah.
Picture flaring, and when you cut from one camera to another, the sort of colours stream and things like that. It's a toss-up. I think probably the one in the worst. Do you reckon it's an old glass door, which is one of the 2 Indigo Pipkins ones? Because that's actually Johnny's flat Hartley's office is actually worse, isn't it? Because it's got all lines across the top quarter of the.
You know, you get
of the picture.
It depends how old you are, but if you are over a certain age, you will remember that sometimes you get the sort of fuzz at the top.
Tracking bars and things like that.
And normally it settles down after a minute
but this
or
one,
two, but this one doesn't.
It's pretty much all the way. And some of the time the colour signal's lost and stuff like that. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, can't we?
Yeah.
And the fact that some of these exist at all is a miracle, so I'm prepared. It would be interesting if like a 60s Doctor Who turned up in really bad quality, because if it was sort of like somebody's home recording of it or something, which is not impossible in somewhere like Australia or something like that, if you had a really, really shonky
not
copy.
been found as yet.
Oh no, but it's unlikely to happen, but it would be interesting to see what people made of it, because as you say, we were brought up on this sort of multi-generation stuff anyway, and
even some of these were quite hard to watch.
But to some people some of the early ones might be a bit of a shock. I mean, as you go through the set, obviously it's going to improve.
Yes.
But do we need to go through Pipkins, what it is really?
Well, we've done a Pipkins video before, but we should run through what it is, just in case you're new to it.
Yeah, so it starts off as Indigo Pipkin, the series, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Indigo Pipkin is a puppet maker, isn't he? He goes around and he does puppet shows for terrified children, judging by the title sequence.
Bill do look quite scared, yeah. And he's played by George Woodbridge, who's did a couple of hammers and various things.
Your favourite other George Woodbridge appearance is in Sir Lancelot, isn't it?
When he has a really rubbish fight with the Major from Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
Ballard Berkeley. Yeah.
But Indigo Pipkin, the earliest surviving episode is Bertha and Hartley clean up.
I would say that's just Bertha cleaning up, really.
Yeah, Hartley doesn't...
Hartley just supervises.
Yeah. So that's already episode 3 of season 2 from the 4th of July 1973. Yes. And you've also got episode 11 of series 2, An Old Glass Door, from the 16th of July 73. So yeah, he's got all these ratty puppets, and do they like fall apart more as the series goes on?
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. Really.
It is hard to tell. I mean, Hartley always looks vaguely dishevelled.
Myxomatosis.
Yeah.
And you don't like Top Off, do you?
Well, there's 2 Top Offs, because the original Top Off is a spider monkey.
Yeah.
And then you get another Top Off. I'm not sure what kind of monkey he is, but
it's much more cuddly.
It's a bit more cuddly, yeah. The first Top Off looks a bit evil because it's got sort of cold, dead little black eyes. Where they've made the replacement Top Off, the new Top Off. Although he's got black eyes, his eyes are bigger, so he doesn't look quite so dead and evil.
Dead and evil.
Yeah, like zombie Top Off.
But Pig, especially, is made out of foam, isn't it?
Yeah, and it just starts to disintegrate, and they have to put a scarf around its neck, because apparently there was a huge hole in its neck. You said you didn't like its mouth.
Its mouth appears to be falling to bits as well. I suppose because it's foam, and if you keep opening your mouth and your mouth's made out of foam, it's going to crack and bits of lumps are going to fall off.
I would imagine that by the time you get to the end of Pipkins, because it runs from the early 70s to 1981, it's a different Pig.
Yeah, because the last episode is 29th of December 1981.
I mean, there's a picture of Pig there. He doesn't have a scarf on there.
That's a better Pig.
That's not quite such a scary Pig.
No. What's interesting about these discs is that I don't know who's come up with this.
Yes.
But they've named all the discs as though they're like parts of the wonders of the world, or things.
They're not all ones.
Not all of them, but in that vein. So you've got discs appear to be subtitled The Taj Mahal, The Great Wall of China, Hadrian's... This has got nothing to do with the episodes.
No, I think somebody was just bored.
Sydney Opera House, The Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, Volcano. That's a Doctor Who episode that's missing.
Yes.
It's got Peter Butterworth in it. Don't do a Butterworth when watching these.
No.
Warren. The Suez Canal, Kennedy Space Centre, Edinburgh Castle, Cardiff Bay, the Clifton Suspension Bridge, Giant's Causeway,
yeah.
Leaning Tower of Pisa, Roman Colosseum, Statue of Liberty. Nothing to do with Pipkins, but I just thought I'd read them out.
Okay.
But yeah, Mr. Pipkins then inconsiderately goes and dies halfway through.
Yes, and that of course, because obviously Sesame Street has to do that when Mr. Hooper dies.
Yeah.
But this is about 7 or 8 years before that.
Yeah.
So they actually take the time, because obviously they want to carry on doing it. So they decide that they're going to incorporate this into the show.
Yeah.
And they have Johnny come along and say, Miss Pipkins died, but I'm going to look after you. I mean, I think apparently all that Pig is worried about is that who's going to feed him.
Well, that's in Johnny's flat, Hartley's office.
No, he says he's hungry. He doesn't say who's going to feed him.
No, but that's the first episode of what then becomes Pipkins from August 74.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think whether when I would have first seen Pipkins, I have vague memories of it being something that was... You know the big tellies at school that are made out of wood?
Oh, the police
that they wheel in.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling we might have watched 1 or 2 episodes of Pipkins. Because I vaguely remember the one where they sing about Michael Finnegan grew whiskers on his chin again.
Yeah, but everybody sang that.
Yeah. That's the Glove Puppet episode.
Okay.
That's from November 76.
Okay.
So
we would have been 8.
I would have been 8 then, so maybe we, but... You have no memory at all.
I have no memory at all. And as I said, it goes up to 1981 where I would have been 9.
Yeah.
So, but as with all of these things, because it was shown on ITV, it may have been shown less in some regions than others.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's ATV, but whether it was shown in the Thames / LWT region, it's impossible to tell.
Johnny's flat, Hartley's office. Basically, they decide that the only way they can get money is to help people, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, because Hartley says you should go to the money shop, and Johnny's like, there isn't a money shop.
And they've got this knackered old van that they drive around in.
Yeah.
And I think all the kids look at it. Well, because Top Off sits on the top of the
That's why it's called
van,
Top Off. Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm sure is
illegal. Yeah.
Don't drive around with monkeys tied to the top of your van.
He's not tied to it, he's just sat on it. And Pig's inside eating a nice bun, which is just going to make him sticky.
Like Paddington.
Yeah.
But all these kids are going as it goes past.
I mean, there is because it says Pipkins on the side. There's a picture of Monkey, Top Off, and Hartley, or Hartley and Top Off, depending on which way it is.
Yeah, they seem to have two signs, both on the same side of the van.
Yeah, it should be on opposite sides.
But even in the title sequence, it changes over halfway through. I don't know why. But let's say, although it's an ATV series, they get out and about. They're not just in the studio, are they? Because there's the episode on the canal, which is just them on the canal.
Yes.
In a boat.
Yeah. There's lots of things of puppets doing things I'm not sure puppets should be doing, like steering boats.
Well, the opening shot of that horrified me, because the tortoise is being dragged along on the ground on a piece of rope.
Yes.
And then he ends up in the canal.
Yes.
It's like a scene from, like, Dr. Chinnery in the League of Gentlemen, you know. And I was convinced it was going to drown in the sea.
Well, they don't kill tortoise off. It's a canal, it's not the sea.
Yeah. This is the one episode so far where you've got Mrs. P, who's the penguin.
The penguin, yeah.
The rarely seen Geordie penguin.
Geordie housekeeper penguin.
Yeah.
How can they afford a housekeeper?
I don't know, but she's making salad, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, she's not making salad.
Well, she's washing lettuce leaves
salad,
by gripping it in her beak and swooshing it around in a bowl of water and then putting it to one. And I'm going, I don't want a salad with, like, penguin spit all over it. This is disgusting. But I suppose it's quite educational because it shows you how a lock works.
Yeah.
They open the gates and the water goes up. It's like a lift for boats, isn't it?
Yes,
that's what they say.
Apparently. Yeah. Never been on a boat.
At one point, Tortoise's cousin Turtle appears to swim past, going the other way. I don't know where he's off to. No. But Tortoise shouts at him, but he just ignores. And I think that's just a shot of Tortoise.
He's Tortoise.
that they previously dragged through the water, and they thought, oh, we've got an extra shot, we might as well use it.
Yeah.
There's the episode Hartley's Teeth, where he goes to the dentist and has his teeth. He doesn't want to go because he's been eating sweets, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And so what's he got? He had a sherbet dab.
Sherbet fountain.
Fountain.
And some... Yeah, gobstopper. He mentioned a gobstopper.
He said about bubble gum, but it appeared to be a Cadbury's flake.
Flake, yeah. So it's basically chocolate and sherbet.
Yeah, he's been hiding it all over the all over the shop, literally all over the shop.
Yeah.
And they drag him off to the dentist, and we think it's a real dentist. It's not an actor.
Because there's no actor's name at the end.
Yeah, so
it's like Michael Jeans, who's the producer stroke director, has gone to his dentist. Do you want to be on television?
Yeah. But full marks to the dentist for playing it completely straight. You know,
and cleaning Hartley's teeth.
He gives his spiel like he would to any other customer. Because he's got a little tiny rotatey brush thing that he tickles Hartley's, I was going to say tonsils, his teeth with.
Yes. And we probably should say who plays Hartley and all these. Yeah. Does all the voices.
Well, that's the wonderful Nigel Plaskett.
Plaskett, yes.
I have to get that right.
Yeah.
And he's one of the people who supplied some of the episodes on this.
Yes, a lot of the episodes. It's him and Jonathan Kidd, who was in it later as Tom.
You do have, I believe, Nigel Plaskett's Vicks Sinex TV commercials.
Which is the thing he's most famous for.
On disc 17.
Yes.
I like that they've included.
Oh, they're going to be thorough, aren't they? He's also known for Doctor Who, the Rebus operation as well.
There is actually an audio copy of Tortoise's cousin on disc 17 as well, which is from January 73. So that's a season 1 episode.
Okay.
So we should definitely listen to that.
Yeah.
And presumably that's Turtle, the aforementioned Turtle, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
There's also an episode from 77, The Tree House, as well. So that's on there. What else have we got? The Toy Makers. Nothing to do with Michael Gough
or Neil Patrick Harris.
Or Neil, yeah. You've got Pigeon, who's another rarely seen one.
And she's very, very posh.
Yeah, she flies in and sees some children who are ill in hospital.
And then they make some rubbish toys for them.
Yeah, it's not quite clear what they're suffering from, but I honestly think they're suffering from out-of-phase film. Because this, like some of the other episodes, when Hartley's ears flap about, they go all jaggedy.
Yes.
Because the interlacing's weird. But they make a load of toys, like a sort of petrol tanker and a petrol pump and a crane, and then take them to the children who aren't that enthusiastic, it has to be said. But yeah, they piddle about and make a lighthouse as well.
Yeah.
And Hartley gets glue everywhere and
sticks himself to the table.
Well, he gets paper stuck on him, doesn't he? And then he has to unwash himself in the... I was going to say in the horse trough.
It's like a horse trough because it's in the yard.
So yeah.
Surely they've got a sink inside.
I don't know. They've got running water. Did you have running water in the early 70s? I don't know. I did.
Yes.
I didn't have a phone till about 1980.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, they're ahead of you with that, aren't they? Because they've got a phone. So.
Then there's the laughing bag, who is not a character, is literally one of those bags you could get.
With a clown's face on it.
You pressed it and it would laugh. And I never saw the point of those.
No.
What were they? What were they for?
They were to make you laugh, I guess.
Well, it never made us blooming freaky, because it's sort of... Hartley's being all big-headed, isn't he? So they want to bring him down.
Yes.
By laughing at him all the time. And he gets quite freaked out by it, doesn't he? Because wherever he goes, he can hear this sinister laugh.
Disembodied laugh, yeah.
Like he's being haunted by a dead clown or something like that. Very strange, that one. And then we've just watched Hartley and the Flag, haven't we?
He wants a flag.
And again, location filming. They go to visit Buckingham Palace.
Well, they go and stand outside Buckingham Palace.
No, they don't go in.
They don't get in.
They sort of lurk about outside.
And the Queen is at home because the flag's flying.
Yeah, Hartley learns that queens have flags, don't they?
So he wants a flag.
So Hartley obviously wants a flag. I'm saying nothing about that. He's a bit sort of Sheldon, isn't he?
A little bit, yeah.
From Big Bang Theory, because he's into flags, isn't he? So he wants a flag with what? Carrots and lettuce and a picture of himself on
it. Yeah. And it has to be said, I don't know whether, I'm assuming Nigel Plaskett did this on purpose, but Hartley's basically like Kenneth Williams in hair form, isn't he?
Yeah.
So...
Kenneth Williams in full camp mode, isn't
Kenneth Williams in full... like on round the horn when he's not being paid attention to.
Because he even uses the phrase big boy at one point, doesn't he? And we looked at each other and went, what? Where did that come from? Yeah. So yeah, it's highly entertaining. I mean, we've already knocked off one disc in a couple of days.
Don't watch too many episodes in one go because it could send you strange.
Yeah. So disc 2, we've got the glove puppet coming on, which is perhaps the most infamous one because it's was it Michael the glove puppet?
Michael the glove puppet, named after the producer.
Yeah, and Hartley's going to be naughty with Michael.
Yes.
Because he's been to the toy shop and
it's like a Mr. Punch puppet, isn't
it? It's quite a
freaky looking thing.
It's quite an ugly looking thing, so it fits in well. As we said, there are a few dribs and drabs of just odd excerpts.
Bits and pieces,
One of which credits Nigel Plaskett as playing Father Christmas. That's from Episode Unknown.
Well, I assume it's a Christmas episode if Father Christmas is in it.
Well, maybe, but it doesn't have to be. Because it must be emphasised that unlike Doctor Who, where everybody knows what all the missing episodes, are like and what the storylines are, you can actually have an episode unknown, which is amazing. And it's 50 years old, but is there nothing? Is there nothing to give this away? I don't know.
There might be documentation somewhere, but
So somewhere on YouTube we do have a thing about the episode The Royal Astronomer. I'm just trying to see if
well, it should be on there.
There's an episode on here called Love Thy Neighbour. I hope that's not I hope that's not what I think it's
No, I'm sure it's not.
Gonna be about.
It might be a Mrs. Muddle episode.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see where the Royal Astronomer is. I can't see that at the moment. But yeah, there's loads and loads on here. Yes, it probably will send us loopy, but worth getting.
Yes, Pipkins is available now from Kaleidoscope.
Yeah. Paperback.
It's
it's a big one.
It's a big one, yes. Yes. So well worth getting if you're interested in.
And I bet you 5p that now it's been released, another episode turns up, because that's just the way things work.
Yeah, but that's why it kept taking so long, because they'd be going, right, we're going to take it. Oh, you've had another episode.
But there you go. So yeah. That's our thing of the day, isn't it? So
here we are.
No,
that's upside down.
That's upside down.
Pipkins.
Woo! Okay. Say goodbye, Hartley.
Goodbye, Hartley.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.